and we're going to go to Cliff May, president of the for the Defense of Democracies. It's great to have you with us here. Your reaction to this launch, long threatened by the North Koreans, there seemed to be sort of a sense of resignation on the part of the White House, on the part of the administration, in the days leading up to what we now know has just occurred.
Well, there shouldn't be. There should be a sense of outrage. This is a violation of an agreement made just recently, February 29th. It's a violation of many obligations. It's an aggressive move towards South Korea, towards Japan, and towards the United States by one of the world's worst proliferators of missile technology and nuclear technology. My view, Lou, is that we should be shooting this missile out of the sky. We have the capability to do it.
If I may, the Japanese have said that they will do precisely that if they consider it an intrusion into or a threat to both their airspace and their national sovereignty. What do you expect there?
Well, I think the Japanese would absolutely be justified in doing so, and I would hope that the Obama administration would say very clearly that the Japanese are justified. The Japanese will probably only do it if this missile moves into their airspace. It would be quite an embarrassment for them to have this go over the Japanese islands and have them not do anything whatsoever. I think we should do it wherever it goes. We should object to this launch. We should object to this on all sorts of basis, and we should send a message not just to the North Koreans, but also to the Iranians and to all the countries that look to us for what Hillary Clinton has called a defense umbrella, and say we have the capability and we're going to exercise it not to let missiles reach their victims. Now, we don't have a missile defense system. We should have, but...
I understand the preferred course of events, but also we have to understand and acknowledge both the socio-political, economic, geopolitical, and geoeconomic realities, and amongst those realities, certainly, is the one nation you left out, and that is China itself, upon whom we have been, in this administration and the previous, dependent for support and some guidance toward North Korea, and it's been an utter failure. What are we to do vis-a-vis China?
I would argue that our shooting down the North Korean missile or backing the Japanese if they decide to do the same is a way also to send a very important message to China, that there are limits and that North Korea is a mad dog that they should be reining in and have not, and if they won't, well, then we and others will. And on that basis, I think they're more likely to come to the table. We should be talking softly but carrying a big missile defense, bigger than we have, but big enough to stop this missile from succeeding in whatever its mission may be.
As we are talking, we're awaiting further information from Japan. We're also told that the missile's likely path will carry it toward the Philippines. The Philippines, obviously, in a territorial dispute with China itself over the Spratly Islands. So perhaps there is some thinking, at least among some in the Chinese leadership, that this is not an inconvenient event to gain the attention of the Philippine government as they become increasingly bellicose toward expanding their interest in the Spratly Island region off the coast of the Philippines. Your thoughts?
Yes, the Chinese are acting as bullies, and they may be utilizing the North Koreans to help them. The more diplomatic way to say it is that they are trying to increase their regional hegemony in all the waters of that region, including international waters. If we allow them to do that, that will be a very bad thing. China is not our strategic ally. It is not an immediate threat to us in the way that, say, I think Iran is, or, say, Al-Qaeda and other terrorist organizations are. But it's not our friend, and we cannot allow them to take waters and territory and exercise that kind of bullying behavior with impunity. That just should not happen.
Your thoughts, because as this expands, we're looking at an axis, if you will, developing that spans, from certainly Tehran to Pyongyang, and it is one that is becoming formidable. All the more so if indeed this missile is what the intelligence community suggests that it is, a long-range ICBM that has the capacity of striking the western part of the United States.
Yeah, exactly right. And there is an alliance, a very unsavory alliance between Iran and Pyongyang. The North Koreans have supplied very important technology. We're fearful that they may test a nuclear weapon for Iran. I said a few moments ago before John got here that if we were to shoot down this missile, it would send a very important message, not just to North Koreans, but to Iran.
Well, let me ask the important question here of both of you. Does the United States have the capacity to take down, to intercept an ICBM at altitude? And when have we demonstrated that capacity, either of you?
I would say we have that capacity. The most easy way to do it would be Aegis, which is a shipborne missile defense system that we could have and may even have in that region right now. If it got closer to the U.S. Mainland, we have ground-based missiles in Alaska. We can't do all we should be able to do with missile defense, but yes, I do think we can, or the Japanese can take down this missile. The Japanese have the same Aegis technology we gave it.
Aegis, we should point out, is a defensive system, however, a naval defensive system. And I just want to bring our audience up to date on the latest development, which I've just received word on. The first stage of this obviously multi-stage rocket or missile has fallen into the waters near the South Islands, and apparently without injury or event. We will have much more on this throughout the hour. We are going to turn our attention now, and if I may, Cliff, thank you very much. Ambassador Bolton, if we could ask you to stand by to assess and to give us your perspectives as developments do become available here this hour. Joining us again for more on what turns out to have been a failed missile launch, rocket launch in North Korea tonight. Cliff May, head of the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. John Bolton, former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Fox News contributor. Ambassador, first your reaction to what is it seems to me, a disaster for the North Koreans.
Well, we'll have to learn exactly how long it was able to stay aloft and what the circumstances were when it broke up. But it sounds like this one failed at about the same time as the last launch of a comparable missile about 3 years ago. I'd hate to be a North Korean rocket scientist tonight, but I think we just need to learn more about it.
Cliff, what do you think?
I think it's time to bear down hard on the North Korean regime and the young untested leader, because in the past these missile launches have often been followed by nuclear testing. South Korean intelligence reports suggest there will be such a test. We don't want that to happen. We should make them pay a severe price and let them know it in advance.
All right, Cliff May, Ambassador Bolton, thank you both for being here.